Well, welcome everyone. This is great that we have this many people here tonight. The kids, the fifth graders, have worked really hard on this, and we have had we have laughed a lot while doing this play. And to you fifth grade parents who are in here, you guys knocked it out of the park as far as outfits go. I was like, wow. And I think some of you will be very impressed with the outfits. So we will get started. When they're done, they are going to stand in a line like real theater and take a bow. So if you just hold your applause till then, okay? All right.
I'll never get this paper ready in time. I haven't got the slightest idea what to write about. Someday, when I'm president, I'll outlaw homework.
Boston Harbor Teapot tonight! Boston Harbor Teapot tonight!
What? Who? What are you doing in my room?
We are colonists. These costumes will protect our identities. We have had enough of the King of England. He has taxed too many items we colonists need, like tea. We will dump all this tea into the Boston Harbor. The Boston Tea Party will be a protest.
But this isn't the Boston Harbor. It's my bedroom.
I'm sorry. Some tea for you, miss?
Oh, well, gee, thanks. But
don't you think the Boston Tea Party was a stroke of genius? And of course, it was all my idea.
Hey, wait a minute!
Well, I played a big part in it anyways. But Jenny, you should really use the Boston Tea Party for your paper. Your teacher would love it, and it could be all about me.
He that falls in love with himself will have no rivals. That is certainly true of you, Mr. Adams.
who are you?
Benjamin Franklin. I'm here to help you with your paper, Jenny. As a former newspaperman, I know how hard it is to find a topic to write about.
Oh, go fly, kite.
I did, with the key at the end of the string. I proved that lightning was electricity. I like what you've done with my idea. Let's see, what else did I do? I signed the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. And, oh yes, I opened up the first United States post office. It was in Philadelphia. I gave it my stamp of approval. What are you folks doing?
Stamping out your joke.
And I invented the Franklin stove and bifocal glasses, and I was an ambassador to France. Paris. Let me tell you, Jenny, what a lovely city, Paris. Of course, back then there were kings in France, and I was, of course...
The British are coming! The British are coming!
Oh no, who are you?
Paul Revere, man. My midnight ride would make a lovely theme for your homework assignment. After all, I was one who won the colonists. The British were marching on Concord, and I am a silversmith by trade. May I interest you in a silver tray?
Look, I appreciate the help, but you all will have to get out of here. My family will be home soon, and they'll be sure I'm throwing a party. And look at the time. I'll never get this paper ready in time. You're a grand old flag, you're a high-flying flag,
And forever in peace may you wave.
Excuse me, ma'am. What are you doing in my room? I'm Betsy Ross, the one who sewed the first American flag. My, I've seen you change my original design. Mine had 13 stars, one for each of the 13 colonies. Why are there 50 stars here? Don't tell me there are 50 states. Yes, ma'am, a lot has changed in the past 200 years, Miss Ross. Don't remind me of my age, Jenny. Anyway, we'll have this report thing set up in a jiffy.
That woman always kept me in stitches.
Betsy, could I interest you in a silver thimble?
As a matter of fact, yes. How much are they?
Well, the ordnance model sells for.
Now cut that out. You all will have to get out of here. I'm not kidding. My family will be home soon, and...
Did I hear family? No one's more of a family man than I. I'm George Washington, the father of his country. That's a joke, son. Now listen up. I deserve respect. Now, I was born in Virginia, had very little schooling, maybe 7 or 8 years. My favorite subject was arithmetic.
Not that old story again.
Jenny, if you're lucky, George will bore himself to sleep. Then you can always tell people that George Washington slept here.
Tell people I can't tell anybody about this. Understand? I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but nobody would ever believe it.
Ahem. Now, as I was saying, I went on to be a land surveyor, and while using my expert experience, I would say that there are far too many people in this small area, Jenny.
You're telling me.
It's a problem that's easily solved. Ask them all to leave and interview me for your assignment. For my great bravery led me to be the commander of the
Continental Army.
And I was then chosen to be the president of the convention that wrote the
United States Constitution.
And of course, I was then the first
President of the United States.
George, my good man, we all adore you. In our time, you were probably everyone's favorite colonist, but the truth is you are quite long-winded. So much wind, in fact, that my poor kite is almost flying off the ground.
Oh, how dare you! I haven't even begun to.
Okay, folks, this is the next stop on the Underground Railroad. We'll be safe here for the night. For the night, an Underground Railroad? Sorry, miss, this isn't a subway or a train station. It's my bedroom.
Railroad, did you say? Well, you need tokens to get on a train, and I happen to have some tokens here that I've made in my shop.
Nice try, Paul, but that's impossible.
Huh?
There were no trains in our day. You never would have made tokens. I'm afraid you've all misunderstood. I know this is not a train station. The Underground Railroad was a series of safety stops for slaves. As they escaped from the South, they used Underground Railroad safety stations until they made their way to the North and freedom. Oh, I've heard of you. Is your name Shower Person or something like that? Tubman, Harriet Tubman. And I'll be glad to help you with your paper. Now let's see. I was born a slave and escaped from slavery in 1849. But my freedom couldn't mean much unless I could help others get free. So I helped guide more than 300 slaves to freedom through the Underground Railroad. It's very nice to meet you, dear.
I never dreamed such beauty could exist. Now, ma'am, don't blush. Man is the only animal that blushes, or needs to.
Ahem, I hate to interrupt this touching scene. Then don't. Hey, this is my room, and I have the right to know who this guy is.
Yeah, you tell him, Jenny!
It's Mark Twain from Hannibal, Mo.
The name's Jenny, not Mo.
That's Hannibal, Missouri, Jenny. Besides, what's in a name? My real name isn't Mark Twain either. It's just the name I used when I wrote my books. Perhaps you've read a few of them. The Prince and the Pauper, Huckleberry Finn, Tom Sawyer, and I myself am truly someone to write about.
What a phony. Jenny, I think he's giving you whitewashing.
So I see you read Tom Sawyer, sir. I see you enjoyed the chapter in which young Tom fools the neighborhood into whitewashing his aunt's fence.
How could I have read your book? I was dead before you even wrote it.
All this doesn't tell me who you really are, though.
All right, then. If you must know, my real name is Samuel Clemens.
Oh, that makes a world of difference. Everybody out.
Oh, sorry I'm late. Somebody gave me the wrong address. Somebody gave me a Gettysburg address. Come on, folks. It's the best I can do with such a short notice.
I was getting worried about you, President Lincoln. You were due to arrive here before Mr. Twain.
Well, I'm here now. Jenny, I'll be glad to help you out with your paper.
Are you really Abraham Lincoln? Gosh, you sure are tall. I'm so short. How tall do you think a man's legs should be, Mr. Lincoln?
Long enough to touch the ground, Jenny. Now, back to your paper. You can start with how I was born in a log cabin. I walked to school every day. I was a lawyer and finally the President of the United States. I'm most famous for my role in the Civil War. I freed the slaves in that one. You're welcome. So you can start your paper with this. 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth.
I think that's been done, sir, by you.
I thought this sounded familiar.
It worked!
It worked! Let's celebrate!
Cut it out! Who are you two and how dare you barge in here and start throwing a party?
We're the Wright brothers, Wilbur.
And Orville.
The Wright brothers for what exactly?
No, WRIGHT brothers. We invented the first man-powered driven flying machine. That story would make a great paper, Jim. The flight took place December 17, 1903 in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina.
Well, I'd like to ride in a flying machine.
Me too! Get away!
No! Focus right now! If you all line up quietly, everyone will get a chance. Violence never solves anything. Am I right?
No,
we're the Reds!
Thank you, sir. May I ask who you are?
I am Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I was a civil rights leader in the 1960s. I helped get rights for blacks through peaceful protest. I won the Nobel Peace Prize. Perhaps you know my most famous speech. It begins, I have a dream.
I hope this is just a dream, but it seems like a nightmare. I'll never get this paper done now. I might as well watch Star Trek tonight.
Space, the final frontier. These are the voyage of the Starship Enterprise. Ooh, I just love shows about space.
Who are you?
I'm Sally Ride, the first one to fly in space. What are you space cadets staring at?
Space, you want to feel Earth's atmosphere?
What a novel idea.
Oh, Mr. Franklin, what a pleasure it is to meet such a learned man. Why, your discoveries are part of the reason I was able to go up in a space shuttle. And Wilbur and Orville Wright, your discoveries have been such a great help to NASA. And now, Jenny, I will help you. Let's talk about your paper on Sally Ride.
About the paper.
Remember, what about the paper? Remember what I said. I never tell a lie.
I do respect the truth. They call me Honest Abe.
You all were so nice, and any one of you would have made a terrific theme for my assignment. Would have?
From one writer to another, what are you talking about?
You never gave me a chance to explain. This isn't a history assignment. This assignment is to write about what I did over summer vacation. I traveled more than 200 years for this. Never you mind, dear. I know of a company that makes history textbooks. They'll be able to use all of us there.
A history textbook. What a grand idea. They could never complete an American history textbook without me.
Or me.
Or me.
Or any of us. We are all a big part of America's history. Think about it. Without the freedom set forth by our founding fathers, I would have never had the ability to speak freely about civil rights. Of course, Mrs. Tubman and Mr. Lincoln are responsible for giving people the rights they deserve. And if it weren't for the scientific experiments done by Mr. Franklin, the Wright brothers would have never built a plane. Without their plane, Sally Ride would have never been able to go to space in a shuttle. We need more people like Mr. Twain, too. Writers like him let us see the world through a different eye, and with humor. See, we are all equally important. If any of us hadn't done what we did, the world would have been a different place to live in.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree. You are right.
That one.